Hello, Internet. That Pinguino Greco here again with another episode of Deep Listens, and today it is Amateur Hour, final Amateur Hour of the season. This is our post Super Bowl wrap up show, post the big game wrap up show. Joining me as always to discuss football, Adam Borgmaster, Redacted. How you doing, Adam?
1-2 hike, field goal.
Omaha.
Field goals all the way down.
And I am also joined as always by Tyler Grav, Redacted. How you doing, Tyler?
The gingerbread men lost in fantasy football, so real gingers can win in the Super Bowl.
Excellent. So before we get into the events of this last season, we'll start with our regular plugs. A reminder, you can get in touch with the show, deeplistenspodcast@gmail.com, deeplistens.libsyn.com. That's where we have our comment sections and where you can download the show. deeplistenspodcast.bluesky.social. That's our social media. Patreon.com/deeplistens. That's where you can support the show. The $1 tier, you get access to the Discord. At the $3 tier, you get access to the OG Soncast, which is our anime show. We are also doing a call to action for donating to ilcm.org/donate. That is the Immigrant Law Center of Minnesota, which helps folks who are in immigration court in Minnesota specifically with their troubles. Which, if you are paying attention to the news in any capacity, there's a lot of that going around right now. So anything you can do to help would be much appreciated. That again, the donation is ilcm.org/donate. Any proof of donation, you send that to us at the show. We will gladly read a comment of your choosing at the top of the next main Deep Listens show. So there's our calls to action. Now, without further ado, let's talk about the most important thing of the football season, Bad Bunny's halftime show.
It was really well choreographed and shot. Like, that was a high quality show. It was a full show.
It was so well choreographed. He fell through a roof.
He climbed a ladder while performing, then climbed down the ladder while performing. There's a lot of physicality there.
There was, and he's a rapper. He doesn't have the lung capacity necessarily of like a Beyonce or something. He did a good job of continuing to talk with his little stick mic while he was doing things. It was impressive.
And there's it's just like an actual wedding in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Which was wild.
Literal wedding.
A literal wedding. In the
Sticks. That counts. Yeah, so that, of course, Tyler, what did you think? Great or greatest halftime show?
I refuse to acknowledge halftime shows. I have not watched one in like a decade.
You were too busy watching the Puppy Bowl?
I was too busy doing anything else. I'm one of those, like when it comes to like halftime shows, I'm like a full-on boomer. I think it should be like a marching band. It shouldn't be some sellout performance for the people that are there that aren't fans of football.
Oh, no. I want dumb stuff. I want
return to the marching bands.
No, I don't want to return to nature with marching bands. I want a person with a jetpack, ideally. I would like if we could set some sort of trained dogs to have some sort of routine. This is what I want in halftime entertainment. It might just be because I will go to Denver Nuggets games and their halftime shows are always like local kids playing basketball for 10 minutes. And I'm starved. I want to see people jumping through hoops. I want a person balancing on top of another person. A musical act is great. So I'm a sucker.
What you're telling me is you want the Harlem Globetrotters.
If they were playing the halftime show, that'd be sick.
Yeah,
I would actually watch
a basketball court on there. That'd be awesome.
But what is the is there a football Harlem Globetrotters? Is it just the Dude Perfect people? Is that would be?
No, like Dude Perfect, they do like a variety of things. They just do football every now and again.
I'm just trying to think. Is there like a Tuskegee footballers, like the Harlem Globetrotters equivalent, but for football? I don't think there is.
Yeah, because there aren't really like many like tricks you can do. Like other than just like juking like 10 people in a row or something.
You say that, but I mean the Savannah Bananas have been able to do it with baseball.
They just do TikTok dances on the field.
I know. What if someone did a TikTok dance and then caught a football? Eh?
Eh.
What if someone was on stilts and then caught a football and then got tackled?
They outlawed that in like 1955. You can't do that anymore.
Yeah, well, that's enough halftime show talk. The football playoffs have concluded. The big game has come and gone. Unfortunately, both of your teams did not make it past the second round. The Steelers lost in the first round of the playoffs. The Bills lost in the second round. And unfortunately, we were cursed to watch the New England Patriots attempt to play the Seattle Seahawks in a game of football with relatively neutral weather, which meant that it was not a competitive football game. Adam, any big thoughts on the Super Bowl? What did you think? Did you have a good time watching it?
Yeah, because it was a game that was in the trenches the whole time. It was a game of O-line and D-line. Both quarterbacks relatively ineffective. Like Sam Darnold didn't give the ball away to the other team, and that's the thing he did correct. But so what, 19 for 38?
Yeah, he was playing very conservatively and also missing on his home run throws. He had multiple options on, so opportunities, and he just missed them. But it didn't matter because the Patriots couldn't play offense.
Yeah, because Drake May had an even worse day, sacked 6 times. Some of the sacks too are infinitely clippable. Having his what was it, left tackle,
Yeah.
get turned into a battering ram and just rammed into him.
Yeah. When there was a play, it was the first penalty of the game. The left tackle for the Patriots jumped early for an offsides call, and despite jumping early, the edge rusher who was running into him shoved him with such force that he was thrown onto his back like a turtle. And the notion of jumping early so that you can get an advantage and still losing so badly as to be completely pancaked by the defender, yeah, it was a rough day. It was a rough day for the Patriots offensive line.
It's like a couple of those a couple of the early sacks was just, I think it was Witherspoon on the Seahawks side.
Yeah, corner blitzes.
Just like teleporting, in 1 second over to Drake May.
Yeah, the corner blitzes were very effective. Tyler, do you think Drake May has learned that he's allowed to move after he drops back?
I found that a little bit odd because during the regular season, it didn't seem like he had problems scrambling or stepping up in the pocket or stepping away from pressure. And just as the playoffs went on and on, it's like he just regressed.
It seemed like it was rapid Andrew Luckification, where you just start seeing ghosts the more you just get hammered. And his offensive line was not good all playoffs. And to be fair, I think the Patriots might have played all of the best defenses in the NFL back to back to back to back, other than their own.
During the regular season, they played nothing but some of the worst defenses, and then in the playoffs, they played some of the best.
All the best defenses.
They played the Chargers, who were top 5. They played the Texans, who were top 5. Yep. They played the Broncos, who were top 5, and then they played the Seahawks, who were literally number 1. And their offense just melted pretty quickly. The most points they put up, they did put up 28 against the Texans, but wasn't that mostly defensive scoring?
Yeah. Yeah, they really needed the defense to make a play, to get at Sam Darnold, to get a pick 6. They needed something from the defense, and just Sammy D did not play along. He managed that game.
Yeah, and let's be honest, if Bo Nix didn't get injured, Denver would have won that game at home against Drake May.
Yeah.
Yeah, Patriots put up 10 points in that game. that's not good enough to win playoff football.
Yeah, and
it wasn't that case.
I literally looked out my window at one point, and it went from like cold, very cold, but manageable, to whiteout. Like I went to pick up food in that storm that you saw on TV, and let me tell you, I don't know how the hell you would play football in it. Like it was super windy. It was coming down. I couldn't really see too far into the distance, and the wind was just blowing snow, and it was piling up very quick.
Yeah. Hey, Gino,
So,
what you just described as a typical Tuesday in Buffalo.
Oh, I know. It's bad that you have an outdoor stadium too when it comes to figuring out who's a better football team. But yeah, like I completely understood. Like as soon as the sky opened up and dumped snow, it just was not. It's not a competitive game after that point. No one could make offensive plays anymore.
But I will say in the Super Bowl, of all of the Patriots, Gonzalez, I think, is their star quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He stopped like 14 points on his own.
He did,
basically.
He did.
So
this game was not as close as it looks, and it doesn't look especially close. But had he not been excellent, it would have been even more of a laugher.
Yeah, it would have been like 40-18 if it wasn't for Gonzalez back 13? There. Oh, right, they only got 13. Yeah, would be like 40-13. Yeah.
It was a real one-sided affair, and definitely like the Patriots' defense was good. They just had to do too much. They just were on the field constantly,
and most of like a lot of Darnold's incompletions were sketchy. Mm-hmm. He had a lot of really sketchy throws. Was it him that threw the ball into the back of literally into the back of one of his guys?
I didn't see that one.
Right before getting tackled.
I didn't see a throw into the back. I did see. I mean, there were a couple of times where the Patriots were basically face guarding most of the Seahawks receivers. They were trying to jump routes. They realized that their only path to victory was lots of turnovers. So they were leaving people open deep and attempting to jump people close. And there were a lot of times where if Darnold just threw a deep ball accurately to his receivers, it would have gone the whole distance for a touchdown. And he just kept missing guys on those deep throws, or just opting to throw it into traffic instead of attempting a throw over the top. And it almost paid off with the Patriots, honestly. They almost intercepted Darnold like 3 or 4 times in the very first series. He barely got a bunch of throws through.
Yeah, so it was a nail biter for like the first 3 quarters of the game, where it's like there could be a pick six at any moment that the Patriots could get.
Both teams were playing conservatively, really. Lots of checkdowns, not a lot of aggressive throws downfield, and they were very content to do your favorite thing, Adam.
Yeah,
punt and kick.
Yeah, punt and kick. It's football, not handball, motherfucker.
But yeah, like
some really excellent punting in this game as well. They're like 15 punts overall.
Mm-hmm. It was actually.
Yeah, and like the Seahawks punter put, I think, was it 3 or 5 balls like within the 5-yard line.
Yeah, it was very impressive. And Tyler, what happened when old Drakey May had to do anything? What happened when he had to make plays?
What happened in the fourth quarter when he had to actually like go for it?
Well, I'll give you a hint. Not good things. The type of play that leads to you being like having negative EPA per play kind of bad things. Like just awful quarterback play in the most important game of the season.
He had one really good drive where he hit 2 difficult throws, and then that was the last good play from Drake May the remainder of the game. He threw a ball into triple coverage at one point that wasn't intercepted, and then later on he threw an interception. He got sacked, and Would you know it? The opponent actually recovered it for one of the first times of the playoffs for the Patriots. Yeah, it did, and the game
Oh
just got
man,
away from them entirely.
I think that was the sack where Drake May had like just two guys on the other side just grab him by either shoulder and slam him into the ground while he's throwing.
Yeah, and it wasn't technically even a sack,
Because he got the ball out before he was body slammed.
and it got intercepted. Technically, it technically wasn't a fumble recovery; it was technically an interception.
Which man, that's that's rough. That's a bad day at the office, is what that is.
Yeah, yeah. So I think this was a very mismatched game. I think we can say that the real Super Bowl was the Rams versus the Seahawks.
Oh,
Oh
without
yeah,
a doubt.
the NFC Championship was the real game because the AFC Championship was a snowed out disaster.
Yeah,
Uh,
so
Really, the two best teams in the NFL squared off in that conference championship game. End of
yeah,
discussion.
yeah.
yeah. And do we think the Patriots are next year? Where would you put them, Tyler? Playoff team, like wild card team, division
Um,
winner, real Super Bowl contender, or none of the above?
yeah, I'm looking at my adjusted wins.
I will speak off the cuff and say there'll be a divisional round team next year.
Yeah, so so they ended up winning 14 games this season. They really should have been closer to like 11 or 12.
That's what I
But
had as well.
the issue with that is they had a comedically soft schedule. It's not going to be the same this upcoming year. They're going to have to play. They're going to have like the toughest schedule in the AFC East, I believe.
Mm-hmm. But they're still in the AFC East, so there will be probably
yeah.
4 free wins between the Dolphins and the Jets.
I mean,
I mean, that's
I
also a
could
Bills
see
thing four free wins as well.
Mm-hmm.
really.
What? I'm saying that like
Both
that
of them will get 4 free wins, the Bills and
yeah,
the Patriots.
yeah, and then split with each other as God intends.
Yeah, sorry, I thought you said something else. But I could see them regressing back to like 10 or 11 wins. I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't see them going much more below that with the amount of talent they have on the roster. And I'm looking at their cap. They look to be like in pretty good shape for the upcoming season.
Yeah, they can do stuff in They can do a lot in free agency. Their draft, they'll do what they can.
Mm-hmm.
But they can patch the holes in their roster pretty easily in the off season.
Yeah,
It's just whether that comes together.
Yeah, probably their biggest concern is just reworking the offensive line, which
Oh yeah, sure. For sure. They either need a new tackle or they need their tackle to get better, but they probably should draft a tackle or a guard to shore up the line a little bit more. And they could probably draft a wide receiver. They could probably use it. But otherwise, I mean, their running backs are fine. Their defense is very solid, very good. Drake May's good. I don't see any other glaring holes. They're a very well constructed team currently.
Yeah, we're probably going to learn more about the New England Patriots in this upcoming season than we did this previous season.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think so. Like, it can't be emphasized enough that they did not play a single healthy team in the entire playoff run until they got to the Super Bowl.
We probably should go over the results of the playoff games that we're talking about.
Sure. So the playoff games in question, they played the Chargers, who almost their entire offensive line had been injured over the course of the season. The score of that game was 3-16.
I just got to come out and say it. Like, Justin Herbert has played 3 playoff games. He's been absolute dog water in all 3 of them.
I mean, he just spent this playoff game getting his ass beat for 3 hours.
Understandable, and you're not wrong, but in the other 2 games he's played, he's been awful.
But like, it's worth saying, like, the Chargers, Herbert got sacked 6 times. May got sacked 5 times. May actually had the worst game in terms of fumbles and interceptions. But at the end of the day, his team was more capable of moving the ball than the Chargers were.
So, like, the New England Patriots defense dragged Drake May to that Super Bowl.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
100%. Then the Texans, that was a 16-28 game, but CJ Stroud had 4 interceptions.
Yeah, CJ Stroud, I mean, that team was, the offense was so injured. Stroud self-destructed.
Yeah, I mean, Nico Collins didn't play in this game. Like, they did not have the top receiving options for the Texans, and also their offensive line was a mess.
Yeah. CJ Stroud doesn't play good in cold weather, question mark?
Mm-hmm.
Fair or not fair?
CJ Stroud has made it to the divisional round, I think, every year he started?
Something like that.
Yeah. So that's just what the Texans are. They're a divisional round team.
Yeah, and like, very limited offensive line play without their top receiving option, just could not play effective offense against the Patriots. And the conference championship, 10-7.
The Snow Bowl.
Snow Bowl, where
Mile High Snow Bowl.
The Broncos were with their backup quarterback, Jarrett Stidham, who had 1 good drive and then did not do anything for the rest of the game, basically. And Drake May won the game with 28 yards of passing. 86 yards of passing. 86 yards of passing total. Like, the total, both teams had the Patriots had 206 yards of offense, and the Broncos had 181 yards of offense total.
Yeah, that was a stinker of a game. That's a game that everyone wants to forget.
That was a game, so cannot be emphasized enough. Like, the Patriots basically had nothing but incredibly wounded opponents that just were too wounded to live. And then they faced a healthy team in the Super Bowl that is, I think, better than them at everything.
Yeah, so the Seahawks, they go in as the number 1 seed in the NFC at the playoffs. They show up in the divisional round against the 49ers. The 49ers go to Seattle, and then it's just belt to ass for
6-41.
Belt to ass. They made the Niners go up to Seattle and then ritually humiliate them on national TV.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the Rams-Seahawks game, the Rams 27, Seahawks 31. That was a shootout, but the Seahawks pulled it out in the end.
That was such a good game.
That was a good game. Everyone played well. You know, one of them had to win, and the Seahawks, you know, were able to eke it out against the second best team in football.
And then they got to play the Patriots.
Like Stafford got 374 yards passing in that game and lost.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a hell of a game, that NFC Championship.
And the Seahawks, do we think the Seahawks are going to be back as Super Bowl favorites or Super Bowl contenders next year? Why don't we start with you? What do you think?
You know, I'm looking at their cap. They're in like really good shape. Take this number with a grain of salt, but I'm seeing like they have $72 million worth of cap space.
Man, Sam Darnold does that for you, huh?
Well, at that point, you're just not plugging holes. Like, you can upgrade at pretty near any position that you want.
Yeah, you can get a premium player at one position, or you can get several quality starters for that money.
And like they have a receiving core, they have a running back core, they have their quarterback, they have a defense. Clearly,
they have a solid offensive line.
Yeah, they have a solid offensive line. I mean, I guess they could upgrade their O line if they wanted to. Their special teams, gets it done.
It's also great.
Yeah, was Darnold just on a no? So Darnold is on a 3-year deal.
Yeah, 3-year, $100 million deal. So he's getting paid half. He's getting paid half of Dak Prescott to go and win Super Bowls.
Which is fun because I think they're kind of same quarterback.
Yeah.
I know that's rude to Dak. It's not as rude as you'd think, though.
So I'm gonna let that slide for now. That's another discussion. But I think your question should be: do you think Seattle's going to be competing for Super Bowls for the next couple of years, not just next year?
I mean, I think they should be a contender. I mean, the only thing holding them back is that they're in the division with the 49ers and the Rams. Like, winning the division is going to be hard every year for them.
Yeah.
Like, 3 of the best, 5 teams in the NFC are in their division.
Yeah, so who else in the NFC do you see rising? Like, other than the Bears?
I mean, Green Bay, if Green Bay is healthy.
If Green Bay ever gets its shit together?
If they're ever healthy, I think they would be.
If Philadelphia can figure out its coach's drama, I think you could see them recover next year.
If the vibes don't overtake them again.
Yeah.
Commanders are a wild card. Like, they were just so injured this year.
Could be anything to anyone.
Does
anything happen in the NFC South? I say while laughing.
I mean, look, there are reasons why the Falcons should be better than they are, and they are not that good right now. And they have made a coaching overhaul. They had some bad injury luck this year. On paper, that should be a good team. Their defense is solid. They have outstanding players at every skill position, except quarterback. Like, quarterback, they seem to be fine. No insult to Penix, but it's not like they've been outstanding to be. They should be better.
Yeah, well, so I guess some spoiler here. My model had them at 8 wins going into the season.
Okay.
And they had 8 wins in the season.
That's fair.
They're exactly who we think they are.
I know, I just look at their talent and I'm just like, why are they always this? It shouldn't be this way.
Nothing good can ever happen to the Falcons because they're the Falcons.
Same thing with the Bucks, but the Bucks also were an injury thing. Like, their receivers all got hurt.
Yeah, so are the Buccaneers on the way down and like the Panthers on the way up?
Man, I don't know.
It'd be very funny if the Panthers were on their way up.
I mean, the Bucks,
like a recurring wild card team.
Ibuka is good. Like, I could see the Bucks getting better, even with Mike Evans kind of aging out. I could see that happening. I could also see. I mean, the Panthers have Tedero McMillan, and they finally have a receiving game that's worth a damn. And I mean, it seems like Bryce Young isn't actively crapping himself all the time.
So, I'm the guy that's generally not impressed with one-size sample games, but in that wild card loss against the LA Rams, Carolina was playing like they belonged.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Bryce Young, he was actually contributing to them being competitive. If they can sustain, if he can sustain that level of play, you know, I think Carolina is in that conversation to win the NFC South. But can he sustain it is the question going into next year.
Well, being a South team, I imagine them making it to the wild card round and freezing to death consistently.
It's a fun element of football that just suddenly you just get conditions that make it impossible to play football, and then, sorry, your season's over.
Oh gosh, I forgot that the Bucks, the Falcons, and the Panthers all had the exact same record at the end of the season. It just because of some crazy who beat who nonsense, it was Carolina that got in.
No, Carolina had 9 wins, didn't they?
No, they had everybody was 8. All 3 of those teams were 8-9.
Yeah, they all have losing records. The
Wait,
NFC South,
they're all
they're
8-9.
losing
I thought.
records.
Oh, okay.
And Carolina had the worst point differential out of those 3.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
That's NFC South football, baby.
Yeah. All right, Gino, we'll let you get us back on track.
No, all I was going to say is I think the Seahawks are here to stay. We're probably going to see them competing for Super Bowl berths from the NFC for the foreseeable future. Their team is not abundantly old. They don't have especially glaring needs at any position. They don't have anyone except their running back who's especially injury prone, except for the running backs. So, and running backs are the most fungible position in football. So I really think that they should be around for a while. And the Pope, is it a blessing for the Seahawks that every year that there's a new Pope, they go to the Super Bowl?
I mean, that just shows that Catholicism is the one true faith.
Oh boy.
Pope blessing continues for the Seahawks. And you're good again.
The blessing that was meant to go to Chicago went to Seattle.
Yeah, it overshot a bit.
There's nothing more Chicago than the blessing that's supposed to go to Chicago going someplace else. In sports, except for that glorious run with Michael Jordan and the Bears in the 80s, I guess.
The 1985 Chicago Bears.
Yep. All right, so how did the models do with the playoffs? How did the models do?
Well, in the playoffs,
yeah,
it was same as ever. I guess my model it predicted most of the games correctly. Just not the championship round.
That's a shame.
But as for the overall season, I did some crunching, and the preseason model, the model that takes the preseason power rankings, looks at how the power rankings perform versus reality over the last decade or 8 years or so, and then uses that to give like a confidence percentages for whether a team will win any given game.
Mm-hmm.
So in those predictions, the prediction is greater than 50% chance to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
It had a hit rate of 63%, so it was 63% correct throughout the season, including the postseason. So all 285 games.
That's pretty good.
The injury adjustment that I added for this year over last year, and it ended up flipping the predictions for 47 games, and 28 of those were hits. So that's like a +9 to the number of correct predictions, which brought the model from what would have been 60% correct to 63%. That's a 3% increase, but hey, that's still something. But that's all compared to last year, which had a 64% hit rate, which I guess just goes with the unpredictability of this year overall. This is a wacky year, especially in the AFC. You had collapses, you had Cinderella stories. It was a wild year.
It's like this year, for the first time in a good while, the AFC seemed like on a team by team basis was the weaker conference.
Yeah, so this was just a weird year in recent history.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't have Kansas City Chiefs, you didn't have Baltimore Ravens. You've had like the weakest Buffalo Bills team that you've had in a while, so like I could see why the model probably struggled with those teams.
Yeah, so I dug into the missed predictions.
Mm-hmm.
So out of 285 games, it missed 104 of them. And of those, well, actually, so I track whether the prediction is a toss-up or a supposedly sure bet. It's basically if the team is predicted to win, or it has like 40 to 60% chance to win. I count that as a toss up. I was like, who knows? And then outside of that 40 to 60 range is a sure bet to win or lose.
Really?
So so of those toss ups, it had a 56% hit rate, and then for the sure bets, it had a 67% hit rate. So there are no sure bets in football, people.
Yeah.
But anyway, for those 104 missed games, I dug in a bit. So 14 of those misses came from the Chiefs, Ravens, Bills, and Texans, the AFC division winners last year.
Okay.
Because the model tries to normalize the teams a bit, it will overestimate the bottom feeders, like the 3, 4, 5 win teams.
Mm-hmm.
And those also contributed 14 misses. So that's the Jets, Raiders, Cardinals, Titans, Giants.
So basically, the top teams that got injured or underperformed really killed you, and then not fully anticipating the suckitude of the bottom of the league, just the fact that almost none of the bottom feeders rose up.
Yeah,
also screwed it.
Yeah, so each of those was 14 on its own. The NFC North accounted for 13 misses on its own, because the NFC North kind of collapsed a little bit this year, other than the Bears.
Thanks,
but everyone
Vikings.
else. Yeah, like Vikings, Lions, Packers all underperformed. So that caused 13 misses. And then like the Commanders caused 7 misses. The Eagles caused 6. The Falcons caused 5. Probably more than 5 because they beat teams that they shouldn't beat and lost teams that they should have beat.
That's the Falcons, baby.
They're just topsy-turvy. And then like 9 misses from the Bengals because they had a fucked up year.
Because they didn't have their quarterback. And your injury adjustment treats all injuries as equal, basically, right? It doesn't know if it's the quarterback. It just knows that someone got hurt.
Oh, well, no, I also have a quarterback adjustment as well.
But is it severe enough for... There's a quarterback adjustment, and then there's Joe Burrow to the worst backup quarterback in the NFL adjustment, which is what they had until Flacco showed up.
Yeah, there is more there. I mean, I didn't have any data to go off of for the size of the adjustment. I do now, even though it's only 1 year of data, so I can probably get better numbers for that, hopefully.
Very cool. So did you have any other big takeaways of like your model, how you would adjust it going forward? The injury adjustment was the big one from last year that I think has paid dividends by and large.
Yeah, that gave me an extra 3% accuracy. Probably like some kind of momentum adjustment, to try to track the collapses and rises that are unexpected from the preseason.
Is there a way to just have a tank adjustment? Or for the back half of the season, if a team is bad and has no incentive to win anymore, like the Raiders and the Jets at a certain point,
the players on the field are always going to try to, play as well they can just for their own numbers.
Right.
They will, but
to consider is coaches play for their job, so they're out there trying to win every game that you can.
And the players are trying to get their stats well just for their resumes.
I mean, they are, but I mean, when the Giants played the Raiders, what happened was the best offensive and defensive players on the Raiders, oopsies, had to rest and didn't play.
I mean, like the actual tanking is probably done by GMs, right? When you do a fire sale or let people walk, like that's where the tanking happens.
Or NFL. People get rest. They get told to, oh, you need a surgery, take it now.
Oh yeah, or that.
Yeah. So I don't know about like we're falling apart in December adjustment, but there is something called ELO that could explain like momentum, Adam.
Yeah.
That's a number that you can calculate on a weekly basis. And the nice thing about ELO, it weights itself based on the quality of your opponent that you're playing. So if you're if you keep beating really elite teams, your elo is going to shoot up fairly quick.
Yeah, so like some kind of adjustment for that would be needed, I think, to improve the accuracy.
Okay, cool. Well, were there any other takeaways from the playoffs or from the season that you wanted to get out?
Do we want to talk about the coaches?
Yeah, give us a news breakdown. What has happened?
Okay, I've already forgotten all the teams. Like, so 10 coaches were fired or retired over the last month or so. So let me Google this list because it's too many.
Take your time.
All right, so just going down the teams that replaced their head coaches. You have the Arizona Cardinals. They got rid of Gannon, and they hired Mike LaFleur, who was the Rams OC. Does that sound right to everyone?
I think so.
Yeah. He's gonna have a hell of a job in front of him because no one wanted that job. It took them a while to find someone to fill that seat. No one wanted to coach for the Cardinals. Okay, yeah, okay. So the Browns fired Kevin Stefanski after all these years, and the Falcons fired. Oh, I'm blanking on his name.
Harbaugh. You said Falcons.
Baltimore.
Falcons.
No, the Falcons. Yeah. Other birds.
Yeah. Other birds. Yes.
Yeah, the Dirty Birds. They fired Raheem Morris. Is that a person? Is that the guy?
I'm looking it up. Kevin Stefanski is their new head coach.
Yeah, I was going to say. So the Browns' old head coach went to the Falcons, and the Falcons' head coach is now a coordinator somewhere. It's Raheem Morris, right?
It was Raheem Morris. Yes.
No, it was Raheem Morris. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then getting to the Ravens fired Harbaugh after all these decades. I guess after 20 years, 19 years.
Now he's the coach of my New York Football Giants.
And then he went over to the Giants because they had to fill the seat left by Dable.
Yeah.
Who was rightfully fired for pushing his rookie QB into getting his shit rocked.
2 years after a Coach of the Year award.
Yeah, the cursed Coach of the Year award. I mean, Stefanski won it twice. So there's no guarantees when you're Coach of the Year.
Yeah, Coach of the Year in the NFL is much like Coach of the Year in the NBA. It is the award for a team that overperforms the most as compared to preseason expectations, not for actually the best coach.
And then the Ravens hired Jesse Minter. I keep forgetting who Jesse Minter is. Was he the Chargers DC? I think it was the Chargers DC. Anyway, but then the Buffalo Bills, Tyler. So it was a bit of a thing with the Bills, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
The owner had a press conference where which not only contained insane ramblings, but he promoted the GM, who does anyone in the Bills Mafia like Brandon Beane, the GM of the Bills?
They did before this year. So it's funny how that kind of thing works. But, yeah, Sean McDermott, the guy that turned the organization around and that has like the best win-loss record in Bills history, is gone. And
they fired McDermott.
Yeah, we hired our babyface offensive coordinator, Joe Brady.
Yeah, how do you feel about that?
I'm not quite sure yet. It's one of those things I'm going to have to probably wait for hindsight to tell me, but like in the moment, it doesn't feel good. Like the vibes don't feel good.
Yeah, the vibes seem off in Buffalo.
Yeah.
So back to the old days, I suppose.
Well, the thing is we still have Allen. There's that, but really the the question for the Bills now is, can we turn the defense around?
That's a real question.
That's a real challenging question.
All right, I will get to the Browns last because they're the funniest.
Yep, keep going.
The Raiders, they put Pete Carroll back into the retirement home because that didn't work at all, and they hired Clint Kubiak, the Seahawks OC. So maybe next year it'll work out for the Raiders.
Just a question. Does everyone from the same 5 fucking families need to get a head coaching job?
Yes.
Harbaughs and Kubiaks and
oh my.
Jeez. Oh my.
So they're going to get the Shanahan's. They're going to get the number 1 draft pick. Probably get Fernando Mendoza as a quarterback in the Raiders. So new head coach, new baby quarterback. We will see how it goes for Las Vegas. The Dolphins got rid of Mike McDaniel.
Yep.
Who was immediately hired by the Chargers as an OC. He was the most sought after offensive coordinator candidate of the season.
I really love that move. I really do.
Yeah, everyone will be happy for McDaniel to find a better home.
Yeah, he just gets to scheme for a guy who throws with his right hand, and he's like, "Oh my god, everything makes so much sense now."
You and your hand bias, Gino.
I know.
Yeah, you're too handsy. Is what you are.
Like, I feel like you have some sort of repressed issue against people that are left-handed.
Doing football.
Oh boy. So they hired Jeff Hafley. I forget where he comes from. Does anyone care where he comes from?
No.
They also replaced the GM as well, so it's a rebuild time in Miami.
Oh man.
And then in New York, John Harbaugh has come in for the Giants. He's cleaned out the coaching staff? Question mark.
That's probably fine.
Yeah, but probably need to. So he has a bunch of young players.
Needs to hire the entire former Baltimore Ravens coaching staff.
He really does. So we will see what he can do with the young talent on the Giants.
Look, if I trust John Harbaugh for anything, it's to coach an injury-prone, dynamic, athletic quarterback and keep them safe. That's exactly what I expect John Harbaugh to be able to do. God damn. Why do the Giants have to hire every old quarterback? Why does it have to be people who've just been in the NFL for fucking ever? Why couldn't they have signed Mike Tomlin if they had to pick someone who's been in the NFL for fucking ever?
Because Mike Tomlin is taking a year off or just retired. We'll get to Mike Tomlin. But before that, speaking of Brian Daboll, the Tennessee Titans hired Robert Saleh as their head coach. Second time's the charm, maybe, for Robert Saleh. At least he's not the Jets anymore.
Yes.
Wait, Robert Saleh?
Yeah.
He went back to the 49ers this past season.
Yeah, he did. He won with the 49ers, took like a year of actually succeeding at a job. And now he's the new head coach of the Titans.
The guy went from the Jets to the Titans. This poor man.
You got the stink off of him at the 49ers for a second, and then
Yeah, look, but it gets better. It gets better because do you know who their new offensive coordinator is at the Titans? Are you sure, Gino?
Is it Brian Daboll?
It's Brian Daboll.
That's fine. He's a fine offensive coordinator. Like, he's been good before as an offensive coordinator. I don't know that the Titans are a year away from being acceptable again. Like, they have a real talent problem. Cam Ward
They have a quarterback. They just need to build around the quarterback.
Yeah, Cam Ward seems okay. They just need to build around the quarterback before he's irreversibly broken by being sacked so many times.
Yeah. I mean, the one bright spot with the Tennessee Titans is just how much cap space they have.
They can buy a whole new team.
Yeah, like it over the cap is saying like $104 million.
Yeah, so they have room to grow if their GM can grow them. They have 2 former New York head coaches and the head coach and offensive coordinator position. Good luck, Cam Ward.
And are we to the Browns now? The lowly Browns or the
No,
Cardinals?
now the Steelers.
Ah,
So
the
the
lowly
Steelers
Steelers.
have finally moved on from Mike Tomlin, or as Mike Tomlin has moved on from the Steelers. Who knows? After being knocked out in the wild card yet again, Tomlin's gone. And yeah, would you know what? I guess someone asked Aaron Rodgers if he knew any coaches. And so now they've ended up with Mike McCarthy. He's back.
Oh no.
Mike McCarthy cannot be stopped.
You're going from Mike Tomlin to Mike McCarthy.
Yes. So Mike McCarthy as head coach. Aaron Rodgers will probably come back one more year. The Steelers. Oh god. You know, this might actually be when the bottom falls out.
Yeah, so the Steelers, much like the Giants, also just hire football lifers who are super duper washed. That's what they love to do. So good on them.
The washest team.
Has Mike
Recent
McCarthy
memory.
ever done anything impressive as a coach other than be the coach when Aaron Rodgers was the quarterback for the Packers?
He was the coach for Dak Prescott first couple years.
I know he was bad at it.
Yeah, he's bad at it. Yeah.
So not
Oh
to
boy.
defend Mike McCarthy, but somebody did a comparison of his record versus John Harbaugh, and it was basically the exact same record. So take that as you will.
Oh, did I sound enthused about John Harbaugh? I'm sorry, my tone might have been wrong.
Well, let's be honest. The narrative around John Harbaugh is a lot different from the narrative around Mike McCarthy.
That's true.
So, like, one of those two things have to give. Either one is overrated and one is underrated, or vice versa.
Yeah, I'm just feeling like this is going to be. Did you ever see any of the posts where I think it's an Onion post that it says Bill de Blasio says, well, it's not so easy to find a mayor that doesn't suck shit.
Yes.
I feel like that's Mike Tomlin. Well, it's not so easy to find a coach who doesn't suck shit, huh?
Yeah.
Oh god, it's gonna be bad in Pittsburgh, man.
Yeah. So all three of us had head coaching changes. Does anyone here feel good about their new head coach?
I think Harbaugh, at the very least, is a professional. He will run a professional team. I don't know that he's had a good creative individual idea on offense or defense in about 15 years. And that's not great. I'm not super thrilled about that. So I think that the team will probably be closer to 500. I don't think they're going to be incompetent in quite the way they could be under Dayball. But I don't expect transcendence, right? Like I don't expect a breakthrough like how the Seahawks defense was this year, or
and Seahawks did that because they hired, was it Harbaugh's DC to go in there and just fix the team, like a young guy who was like in his 30s.
Yes, like someone who's had to interview for a job in the last 20 years, or has had to scheme for new and exciting things. Like I just personally err towards taking a swing on a young hotshot OC or DC, and then trying to find out if they are actually a whiz, because the retread coaches very rarely work out.
I mean, it worked for Kansas City, didn't it? Because Andy Reid had been around for a while.
That's true, but Andrew Reid was a very good coach for a long time, and just was cursed with being the coach for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like he just got a talent injection as soon as he went to Kansas City.
So now we talk about the Cleveland Browns.
Oh yeah, do it.
Okay, I'm trying to remember off the dome the sequence of events. They fired Kevin Stefanski, their 2-time Coach of the Year coach, who has dragged them into the postseason more times than they deserve, which is 0. They didn't have a hard time finding someone to be their coach. They have a fucked up interview process of like personality tests, essay writing, just way too much nonsense involved. Their defensive coordinator, Jim Schwartz, really wanted to be the head coach. He wanted the promotion. The ownership of the Cleveland Browns somehow did not know that he wanted to be promoted. And so their stipulation for any new coach coming in was that they had to keep Jim Schwartz as the DC, because that was the one functioning part of the Browns. So eventually, the only guy that they can get who's willing to accept the job is Todd Monken.
Well, that must mean he's really good, right?
I'm forgetting where Todd Monken comes from, but he's been around, and not in a good way.
So this reminds me of
So then, just to finish the story. So then, Jim Schwartz immediately resigns.
Sick.
Nice.
Oh man, this is gonna be a team of all time in Cleveland next year. So where does Todd Monken come from again?
So Todd Monken, his football career, he was a Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive coordinator and wide receivers coach, 2016 to 2018. And he was with the Browns as an offensive coordinator in 2019. And he went to Georgia for 2 years as an offensive coordinator and quarterback coach. So he went to college. And,
Go Dogs.
Then he was the offensive coordinator for the Ravens last year and 2023 through 2025. So that's okay.
Okay, so actually, this is his first head coaching gig. I thought this was the second.
Yeah, this is his first one as a NFL head coach. He was a head coach in college for a little bit, it looks like.
So who knows?
Yeah, who knows? They
a lot
took
of change in the NFL this upcoming season.
They managed to chase away the only good coach on their team. They could have just promoted him. Head coach.
They could have just promoted Jim Schwartz, the head coach.
Yeah.
They could have just done that. He wanted it. That was actually a sticking point for him.
That he would like to be the head coach, and instead you hired a guy who, look, Monken, it doesn't look like he's been necessarily the worst, but if you're going to piss off your in-house guy who's actually very good, why would you do that, Cleveland Browns? It's not like you're good. It's not like you're getting the creme de la creme of coaching candidates here. You're the Browns.
So after a season of the silliest quarterback carousel in recent memory, they now have the silliest coaching change in recent memory as well. It's a bad time in Cleveland for everyone involved. And they're probably starting Shedeur Sanders next year.
Yeah, so the anecdote that this reminds me of is the Charlotte Hornets of the NBA under Michael Jordan's ownership. They had a coach for a while, for about 4 years, 2013 to 2018, so about 5 years. Steve Clifford, he was fine. He was their longest serving head coach. He was not an amazing head coach, but he was a professional. Then they fired him for a young head coach called James Borrego, who was there for 4 years. And then they ended up firing him because he also was just fine. And the only head coach that they could get to take the job was Steve Clifford. And so they managed to fire Steve Clifford for not being good enough, replaced him, tried to replace the guy who they replaced him with, and the team had become so toxic in the intervening years that the only person willing to take the job again was the guy they had fired 4 years earlier. That seems like kind of what the Browns have done.
Yeah. Oh, and also at the same time this was happening, Shedeur Sanders made the Pro Bowl which was very
Yes.
funny.
Their
Hey,
fifth
man,
quarterback they
uh,
went to?
yes,
Something like that?
their fifth string quarterback at the beginning of the season went to the Pro Bowl. Hey, being a rookie quarterback and making it to the Pro Bowl, that's something. Oh, that's the funniest shit, man.
Oh man.
Yeah. So that's the Quotient Carousel. And with that, I think that is it for this season of Amateur Hour.
Yeah, that's been the season.
That's been the season. And Adam, I think you had a announcement with respect to Amateur Hour.
Yeah. So TBD on whether this will continue. I have a major life change coming up in about 13 weeks. So me putting that in terms of weeks should be a hint if anyone cares. So so the TBD on whether Amateur Hour continues next year. Also, I'll probably end up. Yeah. So this might be it for the Amateur Hour in general.
Yeah, so thank you, Adam. It has been a fun 2 years. We'll see if we do this again next year. But it has been very fun since you pitched this idea to me a year and a half ago, something like that. We did these 2 seasons. It's been fun. It's been cool seeing the models and how they've been working. It's been fun talking about these teams and being wildly wrong. But wait a sec. I was the most correct on these playoff predictions, at least, right?
Oh, right. Okay, so our playoff predictions from December.
Mhm.
I still have that in the spreadsheet. So we were all over the place in our accuracy in the wild card and divisional rounds. So whatever with that. For the championship games, Gino, you had the Broncos beating the Pats, which almost. Tyler had the Bills beating the Broncos, if only. I had the Steelers beating the Broncos because 9-8 Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And then we all had the Seahawks winning that game against either the Eagles or the Rams.
Right. Both of you enjoyed. Both of you, your favorite teams are in the AFC, so you were free to take the Seahawks the full way.
Yes. Tyler actually called the NFC Championship game exactly. Seahawks beating the Rams. So good on Tyler for that. Gino, you and I had the Seahawks beating the Eagles because we believed in the Birds too much.
Birds.
And then for the Super Bowl, Gino had the Seahawks winning against the Broncos. And then Tyler had the Bills winning against the Seahawks. And I had the Steelers winning against the Seahawks. Because 9-8 Super Bowl.
So I did it. I picked chalk, and chalk won.
Yes. Turns out that the first seed in the NFC was the correct choice.
Yep.
All along. Who would have thought?
Would have thunk it. All right, but yeah, thank you both, Tyler, Adam. It's been fun. We might do this again next year, but listeners, if you enjoyed this, write in, let us know. Like, maybe if we can get enough feedback that says, "Hey, Adam, we really need you here," we can, maybe we can finagle something, or at least finagle some guest appearances. But yeah, otherwise, another season in the books. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you. Over the summer, you could just do a thing with you, Tyler, and Jeff Rude talking about Canadian football.
Oh, yeah, that's a thing I'm definitely going to do.
If we're going to talk about football in the off season, we're not talking Canadian football. We're talking UFL.
Oh, yes, the real sports league. The UFL.
Real football.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you, Gino.
And thank you, listeners. Reminder, you can get in touch with the show, deeplistenspodcast@gmail.com, deeplistens.libsyn.com. That's where we have our comment sections. deeplistenspodcast.bluesky.social. There's our social media. And you can support the show on patreon.com/deeplistens. And we are still just reminding folks, you can donate to the Immigrant Law Center of Minnesota at ilcm.org/donate. All right. Till next time. Peace.